The beginning of a dream. Out of every 100 kids who dream of becoming a wrestler, only one will ever step inside a real ring. Fewer than that will main event an arena. Almost none get to choose how the story ends. Tonight, you become one of them. Right now, somewhere, a kid is screaming his own name into an empty backyard, wearing a $5 belt like it's a real championship. Most of them give up before 16. You didn't. A mattress thrown on wet grass, pretending to be a wrestling ring. A dream so big that even the people closest to you laughed at it. This is where it started. Not in a massive arena. Not under bright lights. Not in front of thousands of fans. It started in a backyard, with neighborhood kids as your only audience and a tree branch as your turnbuckle. While others wanted normal careers, you wanted something different. You wanted to become a professional wrestler. Not just any wrestler, a legend. The kind of name people remember long after the lights go out. The kind of name that gets chanted by strangers who never met you. But dreams are easy to imagine. Reality is not. By the end of this video, you will live that entire dream. Every rise, every injury, every comeback, every goodbye. And the ending will not be what you expect. Reality doesn't care how loud you scream in your backyard. It doesn't care how many times you've watched the same match on repeat, memorizing every move. And you're about to find out exactly how hard reality hits. Level 1. The Backyard Dreamer. Every wrestling journey begins the same way. You watch your heroes on television. You study their entrances, their rivalries, their championships. You memorize the way they talk, the way they walk, the way they make an entire arena feel like it belongs to them. Then you try to become them. You jump off couches. You cut promos in the mirror, pointing at your own reflection like it's a rival standing across the ring. Your bedroom becomes a fake arena, and in your mind, you're already famous. But reality always arrives faster than imagination. Watching wrestling is not the same as becoming a wrestler. Knowing the moves is not the same as taking them. One day, you discover a wrestling school, tucked away in some old warehouse or converted gym that nobody would look twice at. That's where everything truly begins, and where everything gets real. The first thing wrestling teaches you isn't how to win. It's how much pain you can survive. Level 2. Wrestling school. The ring feels different in person. It isn't magical anymore. It's hard, unforgiving. The canvas barely cushions anything, and the ropes are tighter than they ever looked on screen. The coach tells you to run the ropes. It sounds simple until your body hits steel cables again and again, and your shoulders start to ache in ways you didn't know were possible. Pain becomes normal. Bruises become routine. You learn how to fall, how to hit the mat, how to survive impact without breaking. You learn that wrestling isn't fake. The choreography is real, but the cost on your body is realer. Many students quit within weeks. The dream isn't strong enough for the pain. They walk in wanting glory and walk out limping, deciding it isn't worth it. But you stay. Somehow, pain starts to feel meaningful when it has purpose. Months turn into years. Slowly, you improve. Your falls get cleaner. Your timing gets sharper. The fear in your body turns into instinct. Until one day, the coach finally says it, you're ready for your first match. You've waited your entire life for this. Nothing prepares you for what comes next. Level 3. The indie wrestler. The crowd is small. The venue is simple, maybe a community hall with folding chairs and a ring that's seen better days. The pay is almost nothing, sometimes just enough for gas money home. But it feels real. For the first time, you're not pretending. Your music hits, you walk through the curtain, and the world changes. Lights, noise, adrenaline, the bell rings, and nothing else matters. Just you in the ring, and a crowd that doesn't know your name yet but is about to learn it. After the match, reality returns. Long drives, cheap hotels, small crowds, little money. You change in a parking lot because there's no locker room. You ice your knees in a gas station bathroom sink. But you keep going. Something inside you refuses to stop, even when nobody else believes it's worth the sacrifice. Then, one night, someone important is watching. Level 4. The rising star. Your name starts spreading. Promoters remember you. Fans recognize you in the crowd before the show even starts. Bookings increase, and so does the distance you're willing to travel for them. For the first time, you're not chasing success. Success is chasing you. You win your first championship. The crowd reacts like your life depends on it, And for one moment, it genuinely feels like it does. For a moment, everything feels worth it. Every bruise, every cheap motel, every empty bank account. But success creates pressure. Now people expect more, and expectations are heavier than failure. Failure you can recover from quietly. Expectations follow you everywhere. The higher you rise, the harder the fall. Level 5. National promotion. Then comes the call, the opportunity, the contract, everything you dreamed about since that backyard, written into a single piece of paper. Television, money, fame, pressure. All of it arrives at once, faster than you can adjust to. Millions are watching now. Every match matters. Every mistake is visible, replayed in slow motion by people who weren't even there. Everything is amplified. And then it happens. An injury, the kind that doesn't heal on its own schedule. Takes one moment to lose everything. Level 6. The injury. The diagnosis is simple. You're out. Months away from the ring. Maybe longer. The doctor's voice is calm, but the words land like a verdict. But the real pain isn't physical. It's identity loss. Without wrestling, who are you? The shows continue without you. New stars rise, taking the spotlight you worked years to earn. Slowly, you feel forgotten, watching from a couch instead of standing under the lights. The silence is louder than the pain. Doubt becomes constant. Fear becomes normal. You start wondering if the comeback stories you watched as a kid were ever realistic or just good television. But deep inside, something refuses to die. The biggest fight was never inside the ring. It was inside you. Level 7. The comeback. Recovery is slow. Every movement hurts. Every step takes effort that used to come naturally. Therapy sessions blur into months, and progress feels invisible until suddenly it isn't. But you return. The crowd reacts not with surprise, but with emotion. They remember you. They remember the absence, and the music hitting again means something different now. Slowly, you rebuild everything. Your timing, your confidence, your place in the lineup. Until another opportunity arrives, bigger than anything before, bigger than you let yourself imagine while you were healing. You survived the worst. Now it's time to rise higher than ever. Level 8. The global superstar. Now you're on the biggest stage. Massive arenas, millions watching from every country. Championship matches, main events that close entire shows. You have everything you once dreamed of in that backyard, and somehow it still doesn't feel finished. But something strange happens. Success doesn't remove pressure. It multiplies it. Every mistake becomes headlines. Every loss becomes a discussion across the world, dissected by people who've never stepped inside a ring. Still, when your music hits, it feels the same as it did the very first night, in that community hall with the folding chairs. Because somewhere in the crowd, there's a kid watching you, just like you once watched someone else. Without knowing it, you became their inspiration, the same way your heroes became yours. Every legend reaches the top. If you know how to leave it. Level 9. The final match. Every career has an ending. Yours is no different. The arena is full. The crowd is loud. But this time, everyone knows it's the last match. You stand behind the curtain, thinking about everything. The backyard, the pain, the journey, the dream, and now the ending. Your music hits. You walk to the ring one final time. Every step feels heavier. Every moment feels slower, like the building itself is trying to hold on to you a little longer. The match begins, and for one last time, you are exactly who you always wanted to be. A wrestler. When the final bell rings, you don't celebrate. You simply breathe and say goodbye to the only life you ever truly wanted. Final message. Years later, people will remember the championships, the victories, the moments that made highlight reels. But you will remember something else. The struggle, the sacrifice, the pain, the journey that nobody filmed. Wrestling was never just about winning. It was about becoming someone who refuses to quit, even when quitting was the easier choice every single time, even when nobody was watching to see whether you kept going. Every legend starts the same way. Not in an arena. In a dream that refuses to die, no matter how many people laughed at it first, no matter how many times reality tried to talk you out of it. If this journey is different, hit subscribe for more cinematic POV stories like this one. And drop a comment. If you had to pick a finishing move for your own life story, what would it be?